Good evening, and welcome to Please Excuse Our Momentary Interruption of Sports from a regular daily schedule. I'm your host, Preston Reynolds, and I am once again joined by the esteemed duo of Nadiri Morgan-Thompson and Ryan Haletta. Let's get right into our first topic. With the NFL Draft happening last week, we're going to give grades for our own personal teams. Ryan, let's start with you for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, overall, I gave these guys a B+. I graded Matthew Golden as an A. He's an insane weapon. Packers finally picked a receiver for the first time in the first round since 2002. The way Mark Murphy announced that was absolutely electric. He fell right in their lap. They didn't have to do anything. They didn't have to trade up. He comes in at 6 foot, 195, but he plays bigger than that. At Texas, when they needed a big play, Quinn Ewers was always throwing him the football. Love gets his big target. Packers offense is going to be dynamic next year, I'm hoping. You got Golden, Reed, Watson, Dobbs, Wicks, Kraft, Jacobs, Musgrave. Like, that offense is loaded, plus a good O-line. When they added that O-line in the second round with Anthony Belton, I gave that one a B-. I thought it was a little early for him, but he's a big dude. 6'6", 335, just a stud. He's a good pass blocker, I noticed. Needs to develop in the run game, but he can get to the second level. He's controlled, he's quick. And with Rasheed Walker and Zach Tom next year being free agents, their future's up in the air, so they're drafting for right now to develop for next year. I like their third-round pick, Savion Williams, out of TCU, the receiver/running back, like hybrid guy. Got him a B, got him as a B. He's listed at 6'4", 225. He had 6 receiving and 6 rushing touchdowns last year, and Matt LaFleur is going to definitely use him. Then they went in the fourth with 2 edge rushers. I gave that a C+ and a C for Barron Sorrell and Colin Oliver. They're both pretty good. I think they can be rotational players. Oliver's coming off a foot injury, so that kind of knocked him down a little bit. But other than that, I thought a B+ for the overall draft.
Yeah, anything quickly from you, Nadiri?
I mean, I don't know. I mostly want to talk about the quarterbacks drafted. I think the Giants deserve an F for drafting Jackson Dart in the first round.
Whoa.
Because the thing with me is, right, if you want to go upside, you go Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe has the highest ceiling of any quarterback in this draft. And if you want to go floor, you go Shedeur Sanders. They did Jackson Dart. I don't understand it. The Saints did the same thing with Tyler Shaw.
Yeah, I think for me, just quickly, the Vikings got a lot of athletic freaks. I gave them a B. I think the one kind of confusing pick was the first-round offensive lineman. Didn't really feel they needed him, but I guess depth is always good. The NBA playoffs are in full force, and we're going to give our analysis of 3 different series so far. Nadiri, what are your thoughts about the Rockets-Warriors series?
I think the Warriors-Rockets series is electrifying, and it shows us that defense is still important in this league, right? The Rockets are one of the best defenses in the league year-round, and the Warriors have been one of the best defenses since they got Jimmy Butler. The Rockets, right there, on offense, they kind of suck, not going to lie. Sengun is nice. Fred VanVleet is probably one of the worst players on earth right now. He's averaging 11, 4, and 4, shooting 27% from the field and 21% from 3. Honestly, I think I could run the Rockets offense right now. No offense to Frederick. And
I'll see you out there.
The Warriors, right? The Warriors, their offense has also been very lackluster, right? But the reason why the Warriors can win games is because they have like a top 5 player in NBA of all time. And it shows, right? The Warriors offense is actually terrible. Steph Curry is playing with Gary Payton Jr., Buddy Hield, Quentin Post, and Kevon Looney with Draymond, That doesn't sound like a single good offensive player, but Steph Curry is so phenomenal, and the Rockets cannot stop him, that the Warriors are going to win this series. You see Amen Thompson, he's trying to injure Jimmy Butler, but, Jimmy Butler's going to come back. He's going to get that vibranium put in him, and the Warriors are going to go very far. Playoff Jimmy is going to help the legacy of Steph Curry and Draymond. And the Warriors are winning the championship, and when they do, I will tattoo 30 for Steph Curry on me.
All right. I went with T-Wolves and Lakers, and I think so far the Timberwolves have just dominated this series. Game 1, statement win for them. They lost the defensive battle in Game 2 in LA, came back to Minnesota. Got one game through the dominant second half. I think they put up 62 points to their to the Lakers 46, I believe it was. Game 4 is a nail biter. I think the Timberwolves do lose Game 5 on Wednesday night, however, but they come back on Friday and win Game 6. So T-Wolves in 6. Minnesota's playing really good basketball so far, and I like them in the second round versus the Rockets or the Warriors.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Edwards has been doing a phenomenal job at kind of taking out all the legends. He took out KD and the Suns last year, and it's looking like LeBron's over. I will say the Warriors and Steph Curry, you're not snatching our chain. I'll tell you that right now.
Next up, we will turn our attention to the NHL playoffs and some undrafted steals from this past weekend. Stay tuned.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. And you can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
It's always been there, his love of the outdoors. Some days, you wonder if it might be his calling. Truth is, you know that the things he's passionate about today will build the foundation of what he does tomorrow, and possibly inspire a new journey. All he needs now is a way to make it happen. We are the universities of Wisconsin. 13 universities, unlimited opportunity.
Matt checking in to see how Sam is doing on his project, and it's getting close to exporting now, the final step in the process. And it is complete, and Sam is hyped. Finally gets complete and spikes the ball into the end zone. Sam's celebrating with his colleagues, and oh, they throw a flag on the play. The ref's gonna call excessive celebration. Sam is in disbelief and can't believe it. He tries to dispute the call, but the ref is not having any of it.
Welcome back to PEOMIOSFYRDS. The NHL is yet another league in the midst of their playoffs. So let's talk about some of the games and series that have been the most interesting. Ryan, your thoughts on these playoffs?
Yeah, I got Winnipeg versus St. Louis. It's been a very high-scoring series for both squads. The Blues have been dominant the last two games. They got Jets goalie Hellebuck out of the game. He's been pulled twice, allowing 11 goals in his last two games that he's played. And the 8 Blues have outscored the number 1 seed Jets 16-10 in the series overall. They're tied at 2 apiece. Both teams have yet to win at home, though, which I thought was very weird. I can see the Blues breaking that streak tonight. But I'm going to give the edge to the Jets in 7 here. I think Hellebuck is going to bounce back really good, like he claims he's going to. I don't got any skin personally in this NHL playoffs at all, but I like rooting for the Wild. I like to see upsets happen, too, in any playoffs. So I wouldn't be mad if my prediction's wrong, but I think the Blues have been on a roll recently.
Yeah, I think it's important to talk about, on top of that, the Battle of Florida, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's the summer.
That's a physical battle.
Yeah,
that ain't just hockey.
You know, we're coming up on the spring, summer, and then Florida, they're playing hockey. They're on the ice, you know what I mean? And it's been pretty crazy, right? The Tampa Bay Lightning, that's the team I'm rooting for because, you know, Lightning McQueen. They have that goalie, Andre Velashvili. You know what I mean? He has a 92% save percentage this series, and he's looking like one of the best goalies in the league. Not gonna lie though, his team can't score. I don't know what they be doing on offense. I don't know if they need Ryan to hit the ice.
Oh,
Ryan got
I can
that.
skate. That's
Ryan
it.
got that, but they've been going kind of crazy. On the Panthers side, the Florida Panthers, they have Matthew O'T. He has 3 goals and 1 assist on the series. He's been pretty consistent on scoring, but he low-key did beat up Jake Gunsel. And I feel like he should get suspended for that because he's scoring too much and I want the Lightning to win. So I think that should happen, but I think the Lightning are going to come back from down 2-1 and win the Battle of Florida.
Yeah, you mentioned the Wild Golden Knights series. Just kind of quickly here, you know, the Wild went down 0-2 here, 4-2 and 5-2, losing there. Kaprizov and Matt Boldy have been really good, but last game Matt Boldy didn't have any points. And Vegas still only won 4-3 in OT, so they had a humming offense and they kind of shut down those players, but still only won by 1 goal in OT, so it'll be interesting with that one. After 257 picks in last week's draft, many players were left undrafted. In this topic, we're going to focus on some players that could be steals with their new teams. Nadiri, who's the guy on your radar?
I mean, there's 2 players I mainly want to talk about, right? The number one, Kobe Bryant, DB from
Yes,
Kansas.
yes.
And I really enjoy them because he already got that chip on his shoulder. Some players, they don't want it bad enough, right? Like, one of the things about Shedeur that I think made him drop was his life has been a little too easy. He don't want it bad enough. I think him dropping is actually going to make him more hungry to be great. Kobe Bryant, he wants to be great. He's a DB out of Kansas. He's a very good DB prospect, lots of upside. And he has a great defensive back personality. Like, he really seems like he's aggressive. I want him on my team for any sport. I don't know if he played basketball, but he playing pickup. You know, he might be on my team. For Falcons, he's definitely on my team. I think he should make the roster. Another player I want to talk about is a center out of Ohio State, Stephen Luffin. He was arguably one of the best centers in the nation before he got hurt. And I think him dropping out of the draft and being an undrafted free agent is going to be phenomenal for the Dolphins. And Tua needs to get protected. You know, he's had like more concussions than years I have on this earth. So I think that'll be really good for them.
Yeah, I also touched on Kobe Bryant. He was a guy that was early on in the draft process, a highly graded corner. The Falcons also signed Nick Nash, who was the college's Triple Crown receiving winner from San Jose State. So I thought that was pretty cool. I like the Packers pickup with Nazir Stackhouse from Georgia. He's a big plug that is good at stopping the run. Was deemed to be a day 3 pick, but was overlooked by a lot of teams for some reason. The Packers also signed D3 WIAC player Jack Stutter from UW La Crosse. That's pretty cool. Donovan Edwards was picked up by the Jets. He had a good year in 2024, cover athlete for College Football 25, but just didn't have it in this past season. And then Shiloh Sanders was picked up by the Buccaneers, so I thought that was pretty funny.
I think the Madden curse got Donovan Edwards.
Yeah.
I think for me, you know, quickly, I think Joe Huber going to the Vikings. Wisconsin bias, maybe a little bit, maybe a little Vikings bias. But another guy I liked is Jared Ivey, edge rusher from Ole Miss. He just signed with Seattle. Had 16.5 sacks, 46 tackles, and 3 forced fumbles in 3 seasons. So pretty productive guy there. Coming up after the break, we will go in depth on the continuing Aaron Rodgers offseason drama. Stay tuned.
Have you heard of UROC?
We're part of Whitewater and our own thing.
Come on, we'll show you.
I learned how to be a college student here, and now I'm headed off to Madison to study global health, and I know I'm ready.
People like me who aren't a fan of big crowds would really like UROC because it's welcoming and it's laid back.
My advisor helped me figure out my schedule, organize my time, fill out my FAFSA, and figure out what classes I liked and how to turn that into a major. And if I had to do it again, I would choose UROC.
You ready to rock?
You belong here.
Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. We're here to compete, to inspire, to grow, and to make history. We are rooted in tradition. For over a century, we have contended as the premier conference within Division III.
I shot the ball!
We are united throughout Wisconsin. All 8 of our full-time member institutions are based in our great state. But although Wisconsin is our home, our impact reverberates across the entire nation, crowning 180 national team championships and counting. Our mission is to shape student athletes who excel academically and athletically, equipped to become leaders in life. We are here to build on our enduring legacy and move boldly forward into the future. We are the WIAC, Excellence in Action.
This is The Insider on UWWTV. I'm Mason Miller. The NFL draft has concluded, and another 257 young men have realized their long-term dreams of earning the chance to play professional football in the NFL. Thousands of players work hard every year in hopes of making the league, but unfortunately, a vast majority of these individuals' dreams seem to be dead in the water before ever getting close to completion. If you look back on the draft, you'll quickly notice that another year went by where not a single Division III player was represented in the draft. As a matter of fact, Whitewater's own Quinn Miners was the last D3 player to be drafted back in 2021 in the 4th round of the NFL draft. This raises a seemingly depressing, yet valid question. Is it even possible for a D3 player to make their way to a meaningful role on an NFL team? I believe the answer to that question is yes. While the road to the big leagues is a tough one, it has been shown that it is possible to make it. You just have to be that good. Players like Whitewater's own Quinn Miners are currently playing in the National Football League for the Denver Broncos, and he likely will be for many years to come. Miners was drafted in 2021 in the 4th round despite playing Division III football. He's a testament to the fact that if you're good enough, they'll find you. Moreover, with the birth of the UFL, there's more chances than ever to be seen joining this professional competition. While playing in the lower level league isn't the most appealing option dream-wise, it's incredibly appealing for players that want to keep chasing their goal of reaching the NFL. When all is said and done, the route from Division III to professional football will likely always be one that is incredibly tedious. It is still able to be done. The players that make it are ones that oftentimes will have outworked their peers to an outstanding degree. While it is highly unlikely that the lower levels of collegiate play will ever take up a large spot in the NFL, hopefully, in the coming years, we'll see the league take the chance to create more players like Flynn Miners. I'm Mason Miller, and this has been The Insider on UWW TV.
She's always had it. Pure ambition. An unbridled self-confidence that most people only dream of. You see it driving her, empowering her, and in time, you see it fueling her future. Perhaps even helping her blaze a new trail. All she needs now is a way to make it happen. We are the Universities of Wisconsin. 13 universities. Unlimited opportunity.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Sports fans, we cheer on our favorite teams at fields, gyms, arenas, and stadiums. But have you ever wondered what it's like to be a referee? Verbal abuse from fans, parents, and coaches is the #1 reason why many referees are walking away. And they're not being replaced quickly enough by new ones. So put yourself in the official shoes, act with respect, and be officially human.
Welcome back to the show. Another NFL offseason means more Aaron Rodgers drama, and with him still sitting in free agency but having talks with the Steelers, we're going to talk about what the Steelers should do and what this waiting game entails. Ryan, your reaction to this drama?
Yeah, I think the chances of him retiring are more likely than signing with the Steelers by a slight margin. However, Will Howard, who they drafted, could learn a lot, I think. Maybe be a starter down the line for the Steelers. He has some promise. I think the Steelers would benefit from signing Rodgers on the field. However, it's the off-the-field concerns in the locker room, which is a different story. We saw it when he was still on Green Bay, when he took his 2 weeks in darkness retreat or whatever. I just don't know how much you can really contemplate thinking about it, if you're going to play one more year or not. I just don't understand it. I think if you sign, then A, you get more money, B, you can play again, and then C, you're going to help develop another young quarterback, so you got to feel good about yourself on that one. But I have no idea. I have no words for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, the Aaron Rodgers drama, to me, it kind of just makes me a little sleepy. Talking about Aaron Rodgers, you might as well just tuck me into bed, go to sleep right now. Because, I mean, it's just boring. If you want to sign the Steelers, sign the Steelers, bro. I don't care. You're not entertaining me. I don't care. You want to go to the Steelers, okay. You want to go to the Vikings, they said no. They want J.J. McCarthy. That says a lot about who you are in 2025, Aaron Rodgers. Let's be real. You know what I mean? So it's what are you really going to do? You probably should just go on some ayahuasca, go on the darkness retreat, and hope that you can come off and be a consistent guest on the Pat McAfee show. That's about the best you got going for you in 2025. I will say the Steelers do need a quarterback very badly. Me and Ryan are going to the quarterback tryouts.
We are, yeah, we'll be there
so,
in Pittsburgh.
Aaron, I'm going to show you how to be a starter in the NFL, buddy.
I could show a little 5-step drought.
I think you could. I think you could roll with it. I think for me, the Steelers beefed up their defense. They got 5 defensive players out of their 7 picks. The only 2 offensive were Will Howard, who was mentioned before, and Caleb Johnson. I mean, I think they continue this Rodgers drama into training camp, but Mason Rudolph and Will Howard aren't going to cut it, especially when you have guys like DK and Pickens sitting there at receiver. We're about a month into the MLB season, and some teams may not be playing up to par with the preseason projections. Nadiri, what team has shocked you so far?
I mean, so far, the Pittsburgh Pirates, right? They got Paul Skenes. You know, he's one of the best pitchers in the MLB, if not the best. And the rest of the team is terrible. Like, they really got us three out there, you know what I mean? They're 26th in batting average. I've never played baseball. I played T-ball when I was like 4 or 5. My batting average was higher than what they doing, bro. Like, I don't know what they doing out there. Their bullpen has no depth. Like, the pitchers are absolutely terrible. I've never thrown a baseball besides playing like a little wiffle ball with my family. But I think I could do one of the positions. I don't know if they need me. I could be in Pittsburgh playing, you know, a little baseball. Then when the football season starts, go play quarterback. Cause
there you go.
Both teams, they need a lot of help.
There you go.
Know what I mean? They both suck.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick at the NL Central here too. I went with the crashing Cardinals. They're 12-16. They're 4th in the NL Central right now. They have 24 team home runs. They're ranked 20th in the league. They do have the highest team batting average at 265. 4th highest team OBP with 336. 8th highest team OPS with 737. But the offense has not been the issue. It's the pitching, like Nadiri said with the Pirates. 10th worst ERA in baseball at a 4.36. 9th most runs allowed, which is 132. 121 of those are earned. They're not striking out like anyone. They have 6.96 Ks per 9 as a team, which is the worst in the league. Eric Fetty really struggled this year, especially yesterday against the Brewers. A 1-3 record, 4.68 ERA, and like you said, a 33 pitch first inning, which is diabolical. Yeah. 32 and 2/3 innings pitched. Phil Maton, Steven Matz, Kyle Lee have been the only reliable arms for the Redbirds. They're just going against a lot of high-scoring teams, and the offense can keep up, but the pitching cannot. Tough May and tough June coming for them. Going to be the real test for what this season's going to be for them.
Yeah, and I mean, these teams, they made me think that the Brewers are good. Like, that's pretty hard.
I mean, yeah, the Brewers dominated the Cardinals yesterday. I mean,
yeah, well, not the first 2 games.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know who that says more about. When we come back, we'll present our final thoughts for this week's episode. Stay tuned.
We'd love to show you what it's like to be a Warhawk.
Come on!
Don't miss out on your chance to be a Warhawk.
At UW Whitewater.
You belong here.
You can see it. His potential, that is. You see it even when he may not. You see that the things that spark his interest today will in time ignite the things he pursues tomorrow. And ultimately, help him reach new heights. All he needs now is a way to make it happen. We are the universities of Wisconsin. 13 universities, unlimited opportunity.
Sports fans, we pack stadiums, arenas, and local gyms every day. And every sports fan is uniquely human. Seeing each play with your own eyes, triggering your own emotions. And as humans, we won't agree on every call, but we can act with empathy and consideration. So put yourself in the official shoes. Be more than a fan. Be officially human.
Welcome back to PEOMIOSFYRDS. Let's give our final thoughts for this week's episode. Ryan, anything you want to discuss?
I want to talk about Shedeur Sanders, elephant in the room. This could be a segment where I just talk crap to Nadiri about how bad Shedeur Sanders is. But I'm not going to do that, all right?
No, pause.
Whoa.
How bad Shedeur Sanders is, the man that was 8th in Heisman voting and had better college stats than all of your guys. There's nothing you can say about Shedeur Sanders' stats that are going to call him bad. You can say something about his character, and I believe that's personally a stretch, right? You want your quarterback to have confidence. Like, what do you mean he's overconfident? That's the best thing an athlete can be. The only way that you make it to professional sports is actually having irrational confidence. So
this guy is so entitled. He's so entitled. 13-12 record, 0-1 bowl games, got his number and name up on their stadium. Are we serious?
Yeah.
Are we serious?
You think he chose to get his number retired, or they chose him? Like, that's not his.
He probably had a say in that.
That's not how getting your number retired works, Ryan.
There's no way.
If you had a say in it, every athlete ever would be like, oh, I want my number retired. I would get my number retired at my high school. Oh my goodness. I played soccer, number 11, retired.
I said I wasn't going to talk crap about Shedeur right now.
You know what I mean?
Let me say what I'm going to say.
But you said he was bad. That's objectively incorrect. The Buffaloes had a lot of problems. Shedeur Sanders was not one of their problems.
He was one of them. But I would say going to Cleveland, he gets to sit, he gets to actually learn a playbook, and he can maybe be something in the future for this Browns franchise, who I thought had a really good draft.
Yeah.
Harold Fannin Jr., Carson Schwesslinger, I think is how you say it. They also picked up Judkins, a running back. I thought they had a very good draft. Mason Graham on the first day, got the Jaguars pick for next year.
Yeah.
And they picked up Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel. I think you're going to try something. The Browns are going to somehow still have a quarterback issue, in my opinion, but Shedeur Sanders went to an okay place here.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that was the elephant in the room, but I feel like you were saying, you know, they have some weapons. That defense is still pretty okay, a little bit above average. But yeah, I think if Shedeur gets the ability to start, he will probably be okay.
Yeah.
That will do it for us here tonight. This has been Please Excuse Our Momentary Interruption of Sports from your regularly schedule on UWW TV.